The band's been together just 5 years. Does it feel like 5 years or maybe longer?
I don't know. It felt like painstakingly slow for me so far.
So it feels like a lot longer than 5 years?
Yeah, I guess that all depends on perspective, right?
That's true. I mean, you guys, starting there in Kentucky, and then you really kind of broke through in the UK before you did over here, and you moved over there. What was that like for the band? Was that an odd decision to make, or?
I don't know. It felt like the right decision at the time. The record label that we were signed to in the UK was the only label that was offering 100% creative control, so it was kind of a no-brainer for us. So we moved over there, and they put us in a flat in Leighton, London, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with London, but it's not the greatest part of London. There wasn't a whole lot to do. I think they did that to keep us away from, bad things. But it was definitely, at first, a bit of a culture shock because we had come from such a small town here in Kentucky.
And that kind of very sudden change of location that, I would imagine seeped into the music and gave you guys a different feel than maybe what you had when you were in Kentucky.
Oh, totally. Well, I mean, we'd only been exposed to what was available around here, and we were making music what we thought to be pure music. That was only according to what was available for us to listen to. So when we went to London, there was just so much more music, than what we had been able to get our hands on here.
Were you amazed at how well the album was received around the world, the first one?
Yeah, for sure. We never thought that the record was going to have any commercial success whatsoever. Especially Ain't No Rest. That was the one song that I was just that song will never be on the radio. Which ended up being the song that probably got the most radio play out of all the songs.
And that song, Ain't No Rest for the Wicked, great song, but there's a really bizarre story behind it.
Yes, yeah, I was working in construction, and one of the guys that I was working with was a drug dealer, I guess, on the side, or I don't know, maybe he was a construction worker on the side. Either way, you want to spin it. He was working construction and doing drugs, and he would always complain about it. And I asked him one day why he didn't walk away from it, and he just said, "There's no rest for the wicked, man." And it was one of those light bulb moments. So I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and it kind of sat around for a couple months, and then finally finished the song. So.
And I also read that you actually wrote it on drywall in the place you were working on too, right?
Yeah. We had we had to work on these stilts because I was in plumbing, so I would pull pipes through walls and stuff like that. And when we'd do apartment complexes, I would get on these stilts and be pulling pipe from the second floor to the first floor, and I would write the lyrics up inside the ceiling, and because at first I would be writing it down on paper, and I'd constantly be running to my notepad and writing things down. So my boss was not too happy with that because it was taking too much time out of the day. So I had to get crafty with it, so I started writing it in the walls, and then when everyone would leave, I would go back into the apartments and just walk along the stretch of the apartment and write all the lyrics down.
That's amazing. When you drive by that place now, do you think, man, my song's in there?
Yeah, I do.
You should buy that place and get that drywall out of there.
The entire apartment complex.
Yeah, it'd be like a secondary income for the band, and get the song out of there and, put it in a hard rock or something, because it's a great story of writing a song bit by bit on drywall.
Yeah. Someday someone will tear those apartments down. They'll say, who wrote these crappy lyrics?
Now, with this new album, Thank You, Happy Birthday, I read that you had 80 song ideas, and then you ditched them all.
Yeah, we'd been living over in London, and we've been writing all these songs according to, what we thought maybe the Cage the Elephant sound might be, a real kind of fear-based writing,
Okay.
Anytime we were writing something that didn't sound like Cage the Elephant, whatever that meant, we would either stop writing it or we would be like, yeah, we'll use that for a side project. After a while, we liked the side project songs more than the Cage songs. So we decided to make it the record around those kind of songs, and we scratched all the other ones.
You take inspiration from some very bizarre things, and there's actually a story you were outside Nashville rolling around in the dirt.
Yeah. Well, I didn't write any of the lyrics prior to going in the studio this time, so every day I'd go in and I just about drove our producer crazy. Because he's like, do you have anything, Matt? And I'm like, I've got some syllables, mumbles and stuff. And there was one song in particular, I think it was Slow. I was just really stuck and couldn't come up with anything. So I was just trying to do anything to spur on some creativity. So I went outside and I was like, buried myself in a pile of leaves. I was smelling leaves and dirt. And
it worked for you?
Yeah, it did work.